Okay. Oh, Disney, you made a shitty movie. Oh, Disney, how could you do this to me? Oh, Disney, how could I should have known more? I should have known more soon. But you put out that plate and you shovel that shit in with your silver spoon. Oh, Disney, why are you causing me some pain? I didn't even want to know, Disney. I goddamn fairy godmother shouldn't be explained. Oh, Disney, I feel so attacked. So I'm gonna take you out, old yellow style, and shoot you out in the back. Oh, Disney, you did this to the MCU. You pulled this shit with Star Wars. And now you have it in your animated movies too. Oh, Disney, why do you do this to yourself? Oh, Disney, why can't you hurt somebody else? I can't believe I'm running out of material. Oh, Cairo, please introduce the show.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, that was good, right?
I'm trying to clap. I don't know if it's coming across.
Oh, thank you, thank you. That was the Disney Blues, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think Mr. Ryan and I'm a schmo. And I should get a Grammy.
I'm Cairo, and I'm a schmo.
Actually, I want to revise that. I'm the infamous Orion, and I get snubbed every year by the Grammys.
Every time.
Every fucking time.
Oh, well.
How you doing today, Cairo?
I'm doing all right.
That's good.
We got some nice chilly weather outside, nice and cozy inside. It's not too bad.
Oh, so you're saying the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful.
Yeah, but they don't let me have a fire in the apartments here.
Same.
I did find out, though, big news. Apparently, they will allow residents here. I'll put it this way. They haven't explicitly forbade gas stoves, gas grills.
Oh, they'd have at my complex.
So I'm probably gonna try and skirt right on the edge of that and pick up a small gas grill at some point, so I can actually cook.
Well,
grill,
for Black Friday
steaks and
this year,
stuff.
you should.
I probably should check. That's not a bad thought.
Like, that seems like perfect Black Friday material because no one's
Yeah.
fucking buying those at the moment.
True. It's true. That's the kind of thing. So let's talk about Black Friday real quick, because this was a bit of a bumper year for it, apparently, according to people who track that kind of thing. This was one of the best Black Fridays for sales ever, nearly $10 billion.
Damn.
And I'll say, in my experience, skimming through social media, most of what I have seen about it has been exceptionally negative.
Really?
Yeah. People being, maybe it's just Reddit being Reddit and Twitter being Twitter, but people being very upset about the same Black Friday, I don't even call it scams, tactics that have been used literally forever.
People are just waking up to this shit?
Apparently. Like, I'm sorry, if you're going to go and spend $600 on something and you're not doing research to make sure that what you're buying is actually worth what it costs, at a certain point, I kind of think that's on you.
Can you cite some examples for me, Mr. Cairo?
TVs have been the big one this year. There was a clip going around that went sort of viral of somebody at a Target that had a TV for sale for like $80 off or something, not even a particularly good sale.
Okay.
But it was still like $650. And the person went up to the little Target sign on it and pulled the Black Friday one off, and underneath it was just a regular sale sign that was the same exact prices from a week earlier.
Are they fucking dense?
And everybody is just like, "Oh, look at the greedy capitalists." It's like, yeah, no shit. This isn't a new thing.
Like, I feel bad for them. They should go to fucking Amazon sometimes.
There's just so much information we have now to prove that kind of stuff. And it's like, yes, that's a bad deal. You don't have to buy it. I guess that's the part for me that I just don't get. Is like, okay, yeah, that sucks. It'd be like buying it at full price. So don't do it.
But if I don't
I don't
buy
know.
it here, where do I buy?
Yeah. And it's kind of weird because I have been out, skimming around on Amazon and a couple other sites, and I got myself some pretty decent deals. Finished up some Christmas shopping, got myself a new AV receiver for a couple $100 off. And it's just like, you just got to do your due diligence. The stores that are trying to turn the most profit possible aren't going to help you out as much as at all if they can avoid it.
Motherfucker, are you telling me the Meyer family does not have my best interest at heart?
They do not, and the Waltons don't either.
God. Sorry, everybody at home who's not in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Meyer is a thing. I feel like it's our duty in the
God.
Midwest to always remind everybody else in the rest of the country Meyer's a thing.
Yep. It's the same way that if you're from like the southern East Coast, you always have to remind people of, oh, I can't remember what the local chain there is, but they have a similar kind of thing,
Oh, God.
regionalized stuff.
So speaking of regionalized things, one thing
Yeah.
I'm always dreading will ever come to Michigan, and I really don't want it ever to come to Michigan.
Mm.
Ever seen a Bucky's?
Yeah, I
Fucking hate
have.
those.
It seems, I don't know. On the one hand, I respect their business model
Yeah.
and the way that from what I've seen at least, how they treat their employees. But yeah, on the other hand, it just does not seem like the kind of thing that culturally makes sense here.
So like I agree with you. Bucky's has a very,
Yeah.
very impressive business model.
Yeah.
It's literally designed to make infinite money.
Yeah.
But also it's like the kind of thing I don't see ever mixing well with the Midwest. And if we do,
Yeah.
the Midwest has fallen.
I don't think it would work out well here. We're just too spread out, right? Like
Yeah, we're not condensed.
the only time I ever hear about people driving any single mile more than they need to for a gas station is if there's like some crazy deal going on. I don't know.
I think we're also not very loyal to our gas stations here.
That's true.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I tend to go to, like Sam's Club and Costco are obviously like just the best on price,
Yeah.
but it's pretty much just a price argument for everyone.
Are you
But yeah. Thanksgiving has happened. Uh, the U.S. has managed to thankfully thwart the devilish terrorist attack that was against Canada. So we're good there.
go us?
No risk of second troubles. Um, yeah, made it through Black Friday. We got Cyber Monday coming up, and we had exactly one movie to talk about because Dune is been pushed out to March.
To be fair, I think Dune won.
Yeah.
Just on principles alone.
Can you imagine how much they'd be cleaning up right now, though?
Oh, dude, they'd be fucking
It
stacked.
it is really awkward because so spoilers ahead of time. I'm not going to be having our show next week because I'm going to be out of town. But I was talking with my folks about like trying to do something while it's in December and get together, and the question came up like, oh well, what? Maybe we go see a movie. What's out there? And it's fucking nothing. Not until like the week of Christmas, and even then, it's kind of Spartan still.
Gotta love those strikes. They're really
Yeah,
working.
like There's Napoleon, which
Yeah.
is doing kind of medium. There's Wish, which is doing even worse. And then what? You gonna go see fucking Robot Dreams? I don't
Go,
think so.
go see Godzilla minus one.
Yeah, apparently that's doing really well.
I mean, I heard like Godzilla at this point as a franchise, outside the MonsterVerse, like
Yeah,
actual Japanese Godzilla, is like in a Doctor Who situation right now where the fans are running everything. So
that's good.
I have full faith in anything coming out of Japan Godzilla.
I'll say even then though, the shitty American Godzilla movies are
Yeah.
still pretty entertaining
I mean,
in a
we
kind of like junk food sort of way.
we love our big lizards.
Yeah. There's something about big lizard fighting big dragon that, it just works.
Fucking speaking of big lizards, I just realized we live in a timeline where an Adam Sandler animated comedy is probably doing better than a Disney princess
Oh,
movie.
easily. Let me pull up the numbers again, but earlier this week it was.
Oh, fuck me. That's hilarious.
Leo 2023 movie. Wikipedia. Oh no, wait, that's the wrong. Apparently there's an Indian action crime movie that also is called Leo that released this year.
I respect that.
Leo movie Adam Sandler. That's kind of awkward. Does this one have
You could
Wikipedia?
put like
Yeah.
Netflix. Oh,
I have apparently the Indian one is doing very well at the box office.
I'm happy for India.
Released in October. Good on y'all. Um no box office on here yet. Do you have any numbers for Wish?
Ah, yep.
Want to look this one up? What you got?
49 million against a 175 to 200 million dollar budget.
Wow.
This is opening weekend too. Did Disney go woke and go broke? Question mark? Has wokeism brought the end of Mickey Mouse? Big red headlines right there in the thumbnail. We're going to have Mickey looking sad, have a gun up to his head.
Huh.
I can't think of anything else. That's just the perfect one right there. Big scary eyes, Jordan Peterson pointing at him, Peter Capaldi laughing at him.
No box office yet, details yet for Leo, which I guess is probably in part because it's a Netflix thing.
Yeah.
It's harder to quantify that. But there's just no details for it that have been released yet. And I would imagine if Netflix has their way, it will always stay like that. But regardless, this is a mainline Walt Disney movie that is not on track to turn even breaking a profit.
That's scary.
And it's not even like that's a big budget, right? But that's not exceptional for Disney movies. It's not like this was particularly bloated or anything like that. It's just people aren't liking this as much as other Disney movies, aren't going out to see it.
Well, I can probably give you a good reason why.
Please do.
So you ever watch like The Simpsons and see them parodying a Disney movie and make fun of all the tropes?
Yes.
This is that exact fucking movie they were making fun of, and they play it straight. Buckle up, everybody. So, I'm going to start with the positives of this movie, right?
Sure.
Good first impression. I like that this movie takes place in the Mediterranean Sea. That's a place we never fucking go in a Disney movie, right? No one in the US gives a fuck about the Mediterranean most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it is breathtaking. They do their best on this to like show what the culture is like,
Yeah.
what the natural beauty of it all looks like.
Yeah. And I guess as a quick aside, Disney has been excelling at that lately.
Yes.
Disney and Pixar, they have been, and looking back on it, that makes a lot of sense. Intentionally picking new locations to try and showcase.
Yes. And for this movie in particular, I like it a lot because it's, well, the Mediterranean's right next to Europe, right?
Yeah.
And let's face it, a lot of the classics are based on those European Grimm's brothers fairy tales.
Yep.
So this is a happy medium of close enough to Europe that we can kind of feel the culture, but it's its own distinct thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start. I'm kind of basing some of my notes off the Wikipedia entry too. So if y'all want to follow along at home, I'll tell you a little bit more as we go along. Um, we start with a flashback. It's actually more like told through a fucking storybook, kind of like those old Disney movies of yore, like Sleeping Beauty is the only one I can really think of on top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's what Shrek parodied, was like always opening up
Right.
the fairy tale book and like telling the story from there.
Okay. And we'll come back to that later.
Why'd you have to fucking remind me about that? Um, the first character we're really established with is King Magnifico, who is, for all intents and purposes, our antagonist of this movie. And my girlfriend was hyped for this guy, by the way. He was going to be our return to Disney villainy. She likes her Disney villains.
Mm-hmm.
I felt fear with the name first off because Magnifico is kind of a little fucking on the nose. He's played by Chris Pines. He's got a queen named Amaya. She also comes with him to establish his kingdom. And the kingdom of Rosa, it's fine, you know. I feel like I see the same fucking character every fucking 5 shots or so. So it's a little small. And from there, we are introduced to Asha, our protagonist. Another thing I want to give this movie, Asha and Magnifico, they have great designs. In fact, they're so good, they make every other character in this movie look like shit by comparison. Asha is a 17-year-old, and in this world, when you turn 18, you give your wish, which is your heart's deepest desire, to Magnifico. He puts him in his little Kremlin, little hidey hole, and he will grant your wish at random. Somebody, like, once a month, he grants somebody's wish. That could be yours. It could be somebody else's. It's kind of just at fucking random. But you will also lose your memory of what your heart truly desires as well. So that's the same as like you saying, Kyrol, I want to run a podcast with my best buddy, the infamous Orion. And then he takes that away. You can't remember any of that.
Yeah. Very Emperor's New Clothesy.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So Asha works as a tour guide for tourists or immigrants wanting to come over to Rosa, and she pretty much explains the rules of how society works to people who are visiting or just coming over. And from there, we also find out she is interviewing to be the sorcerer's apprentice. Magnifico is the sorcerer in this case, where she will learn how to do magic bullshit like him. Basically, it's a glorified intern position.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, we are also introduced to her fucking 7 friends, which 7 side characters is too fucking many.
Yeah, that is too many.
And you want to know
the most 5 too many.
You want to know the most annoying part of this?
What's that?
They're all based on the 7 dwarves.
Why?
Because it's a 100-year anniversary movie. Fuck you.
That sucks.
It does suck. Because, like, they're not even subtle. There's the short, grumpy one. There's Doc. There's Dopey. Which Dopey just looks like fucking Dopey. They go and basically say, Asha, you're pretty much shoo-in for it. Don't fuck it up. You are going to be the best sorcerer's apprentice ever. She goes up and has her interview with Magnifico. And immediately, they come in. And Magnifico's like, yeah, I like you more than I like most people, so I'm probably going to take you. Would you like to see where the wishes are kept? Which is apparently a high fucking honor. And, yeah.
Would you like to see where the wishes are kept?
Yes. So when you give away your wish in this world,
Okay.
it becomes an orb,
Okay.
a physical orb.
Okay.
And if you stare at it long enough, you can see what the wish is.
Sure.
So Magnifico keeps all these hidden in a special room,
Hmm.
which,
I would like to just, as a quick aside,
yeah,
point out we have recently had the Super Mario RPG re-release,
yeah.
and it's literally Super Mario RPG.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's a whole part where people's wishes turn into stars, and the stars go in this place, and you can go if you and you can go and look at what people's wishes are.
That's so funny because they actually have the fucking star in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Wow. Okay, back to it. Um, Asha and Magnifico have this kind of nice duet. Like, I should mention this is a musical, and during this duet, they talk about the importance of wishes and their two philosophies for it.
Hmm.
Magnifico basically believes yes, people should have wishes, but they should also not be burdened with trying to make them come true. That's what he's here for. Asha is on the side that everybody should have their wishes come true.
Okay.
Kind of a weak dichotomy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one morally gray and one that's very good.
Good, naive. Yeah.
Yeah, good and naive. And while she is there, she sees her grandfather Sabino's wish. Sabino is introduced at the very beginning of the movie and they set up the stakes. Sabino turned 100. He's not got much time left.
Yeah.
And Asha wants more than anything to make her grandfather's wish come true.
Sure.
And she sees what his wish is. His is pretty nice. He just wants to be able to play guitar very well, or lute, or whatever instrument it's supposed to be.
Sure.
And he wants to play for a large crowd of people and inspire them. Pretty harmless, right?
Yeah.
Asha is basically like, yo, Magnifico, it's my grandpa's 100th birthday today. It's a wish ceremony today. Do me a solid? And he's basically like, oh, well, you know, people usually wait like 3 months before they start asking me for favors. You're no longer getting the position, and fuck you, your grandpa's never getting his wish again.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of her fault.
I mean, yeah, but you could handle that much better.
Yeah, I agree. They're both
Like, you
kind of
could be
shitty.
literally just like, oh, no, that's not how we do it here.
Yeah,
And then she'd just be like, oh, okay, sorry, I didn't realize. And be like, yeah, no problem, that's fine. But I guess then there wouldn't be a movie.
exactly. So he takes her to the front row seat of like the wish ceremony where they're going to grant a wish.
Sure.
And she's basically sitting at where his seat would be and watching as he grabs a wish and grants it, and it's not her grandfather's wish in front of everybody else in the fucking kingdom. It's a very meaningless wish. It's just
Yeah.
for fucking one lady to become a really good tailor.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. And then Asha is basically goes home and she cries with Grandpa because she didn't get the job. Grandpa didn't get her wish. One plot point I want to bring up here. It is said that Magnifico also knew Asha's dad, who is apparently dead.
Okay.
And he was apparently friends with him because he was like this great philosopher who talked about the stars all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And that's all we hear about the fucking dad for the rest of the movie.
It's not like a setup for something else. That's just it.
That's pretty much it. Like the whole
Wow.
idea is Asha has like this obsession with wishes, kind of based off her dad who died, but it's hard to tell. Anyway, Asha goes outside to pout, and wouldn't you know it, a star is fucking born and lands right in front of her.
Nice.
And this little shit is so fucking marketable. I fucking hate the star. The star is basically Pikachu on crack. Let me get you an image of this thing and tell me you don't feel your wallet like climbing out of your fucking pants. Where the fuck? There you go.
Is Star unvoiced?
Yes,
Weird.
isn't it?
Oh, they are like already being marketed. Wow.
Yeah,
That's so generic.
isn't it?
Also, hold on. Let
Now
me see
this
if I can find this real quick. Because that looks very similar
to a Luma,
to. Yes.
Luma from
I was
Super
gonna.
Mario
I was
or
like,
Galaxy.
wait a minute. Does Nintendo make Luma plushies?
Does Nintendo make Luma? Let me check this out.
It doesn't look like it, but a lot of other people do.
Oh my god. Disney saw an opportunity and they capitalized it. They said, Nintendo, if you're not using it, we're going to use it our goddamn selves.
So now they've ripped off Super Mario RPG and Super Mario Galaxy. Okay.
Yes, sir. So, Asha and the fucking Luma, I'm going to refer to it as a Luma because I have more gravitas
Yeah.
towards them. They basically make a plan that they're going to go and steal wishes from Chris Pine, Magnifico, because he's a meanie bobini.
Yeah.
And then they're going to grant them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because two wrongs make a right.
Isn't it?
Literally is.
Yeah. It should be announced when the star comes to Earth, it creates a giant ball of light that gives everybody optimism and hope.
Okay.
Marketable feelings. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the star gives the whole kingdom hope. Everybody's happy. Magnifico's like, oh, who's fucking challenging my authority? He's like, I do not like this shit. So Magnifico is basically says, I'm going to hunt down wherever the fuck that light was. So pretty firmly ending the first act, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have so many problems with this. I like the premise of it,
Right.
but honestly, here's what I would want as a rewrite. Asha starts the movie off as the sorcerer's apprentice. Wink, nice little wink towards the Disney shore right there, right? Because this movie's all about the fucking references.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she's stuck as the tour guide apprentice. She's stuck at this dead end job where she's supposed to be learning all this magical bullshit and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then have her falling out with Magnifico over the wish or whatnot. At least then she gets fired and it's a little more sad for her. Then you can have her like pull the star out of the sky using magic or whatever bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And her thing is, I want to grant all the wishes. Save that because this is like a weird character trait that doesn't get brought up until the very fucking end of the movie. That she still wants to do that, but my version, I feel that gives her way more context. Whatever. Let's move on. We go to the second act. I should also mention the star has a magical ability where it grants the animals wishes, and all the animals simultaneously want to be able to talk.
We want to be able to advocate for ourselves.
Yes, and they have a large musical number over it.
Oh my god.
And they give the goat a voice.
Yeah.
And
it's Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, I fucking hate the goat in this.
It's just weird because they like just had him in Moana as the Dibby character.
So here's the fucked up part. You can take the goat out of this whole movie and nothing changes.
Yeah.
It's literally there to be cute and marketable.
It feels like that's a lot of this movie. It's like they had a plot and they were like, okay, but we also want to do this 100th anniversary Disney thing. And they just smushed them together.
We'll get into more of that later. So Asha goes to the seven dwarves, which I will only refer to them as the seven dwarves now. They basically say, oh, we don't want to get involved in this. We don't want to become traitors. Asha, if you're going to steal these wishes, please don't do it. And it's revealed that Sleepy, or in this movie as he's called Simon, is the only one that's 18. So he already lost his wish. So he has like no real stake in any of this.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why he's sleeping. Duh. Asha goes in, and with the star, she manages to steal one wish before Magnifico comes back. And it's her grandpa's wish.
Sure.
She gives it back, and basically, he gets the wish back, and he feels more complete all of a sudden. They realize it's a good feeling to have your wish with you, and he
Sure.
remembers the wish. It's not granted, but he remembers it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a piece of him is missing. Magnifico has this whole giant like parent-teacher conference with everybody, where he's like, "Hey, who stole the wish? I'm not mad, guys. Just tell me who stole the wish." And then he gets progressively mean, and then he has the worst Disney fucking villain song of all time.
Is that the one that we played last week?
Yeah.
We listened to? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then from there, he basically opens a book of evil magic, and he's basically like, "Oh boy, I can't wait to become a real villain now." To this day, like 24 hours later, I still don't know what the fucking point of this book was. It lets him shoot out green Mountain Dew energy. That's all I know. So King Mountain Dew gets a tip as to where Asha is, in that she's the one that stole the wish. Guess who revealed that? It was Sleepy, that bastard.
How dare he?
Yeah. So Magnifico basically takes
We're like narky.
that was good.
Narcolepsy.
Narcolepsy. Fuck you. That's terrible. That's also good. So Sleepy is given his wish, which is to be a brave knight, which basically means he gets fucking brainwashed.
So he turns into a cop.
He turns into a cop, dude. He literally turns into a fucking cop.
That's pretty good.
Disney said a cab.
Yeah.
Fucking Asha runs off with her family, puts him on an island, and then she's like, "Well, I gotta go back and free all the wishes now." Which you don't have to. You could be on the run. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Disney didn't want to animate more than one set piece, so she goes back. She gets the rest of the six dwarves, and basically they're like, "Well, let's start a revolution." And you say you want a revolution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world. Beatles reference aside. It leads to the worst song in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
It is, what is it? Knowing What I Know Now.
It's a horrible title.
Dude, it's a horrible fucking song.
That's way too long.
It is the moment where I officially started hating this movie. And it's so sad. It's like one of the longer pieces there too. It is essentially just all of them going on about like, "Oh man, we're gonna overthrow the king. Yippee!" And then guess who joins the revolution last minute?
What would that be?
The queen. Queen's like, "Fuck the king. I'm gonna go overthrow him now." I mean, they do set up that she has a thing for Asha, that she's like the daughter they never had. They got a weird like stepmom relationship almost.
Mm-hmm.
And so they all try to formulate a plan. Basic thesis of the plan: Asha goes and distracts Magnifico. The rest of them go and get the wishes. Fairly straightforward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Asha goes to go get Magnifico to go fuck off. Here's the fuck up thing, right? Asha's given like a small little shawl to wear, and it's nice and purple, and it looks a little familiar. It's a nice, cute reference. And then the star gives her a stick, and then you chance it with magic, and then you realize, oh god, it's not a fucking reference. More of that for later.
Yeah.
She goes off, calls out Magnifico. Magnifico comes out running, and I'm expecting like this really cool, fun magic scene where like these two individuals go running around chasing each other with magic. Like you have this expert versus like the newbie.
Yeah.
Does not happen. Because plot twist, that's not Magnifico. He enchanted fucking Sleepy to look like him and chase Asha around.
Nice.
Yeah. And then What?
ACAB.
ACAB, yeah. And Magnifico realizes that he can destroy a dream, and it gives pretty much the person's, I'm sorry, a wish, and it gives that person depression, but he gets stronger from doing it.
Wait, so he just at that point realizes that.
No, he realizes it a little bit earlier in the movie, but it's his motivation for staying behind.
But it's like relatively recent.
Yes, he finds that out in the movie itself.
So he's been doing this whole wish lottery thing just because.
Just because.
What an idiot.
Isn't he? Like, he's got, like, this full magic power thing that he could do. And they establish in the movie that if you use dark magic once, you're going to be corrupted by it forever.
Sure.
So it's kind of like he's too far gone, so why not just fucking do it?
I guess.
Yeah, I fucking agree with you. I guess.
well, we'll circle back after we're done with the plot.
Yeah. So Magnifico goes to the top of like the place where they're keeping the wishes. Their plan is to open the roof, and the wishes will go out and go find their original person. Yeah, Magnifico stops that, and he's like, "I'm gonna break all the wishes." They have this cute little scene of what's expected to happen if he does that. He basically turns into Chernabog from Fantasia,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of cool. I like Chernabog. That's a freaky ass animation. He doesn't get that far. And he's like trying to squeeze and corrupt it. Asha discovers she has fucking instant transmission from Dragon Ball Z and just teleports there. That's not actually in the movie. I don't remember how she gets up there. But there is a case where like characters are fucking teleporting all over the fucking place. Like it's DBZ.
Yeah.
So Asha goes up to the roof and she's like, "Oh no, you don't. We're going to stop you." And he's like, "You and what army?" And then pretty much all the citizens seeing Magnifico like strangling all the wishes are basically like, "Hey, he's kind of a prick."
What army? Our army.
Yeah. And then he's like, "Okay, well, kneel everybody." And with his fuck you magic powers, he pretty much just shackles everybody to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, like why the fuck not, dude?
Why not?
Yeah.
You're already in for a penny, in for a pound.
And for a pound, like if you're gonna be like a dictator at this point, go balls
Yep.
to the wall. So Magnifico chains everybody to the ground, and he's basically like, "Well, time to become Chernabog. Everybody's my slave. I fucking win." How do
Yep.
you guess they get themselves out of this situation?
Oh, it's got to be the power of friendship.
Close.
Okay. Half marks.
Yeah. They let me find the exact. Okay. Asha rallies all of her friends and joins them, having discovered Magnifico's corruption. While her friends infiltrate. I'm going to skip ahead. I just want to read the Wikipedia entry of this first because it's going to sound a
Yeah.
lot less stupid than what I'm about to say. Asha attempts to stop him, but is easily overpowered by Magnifico's blocks in the sky, preventing the citizens from wishing on stars. Asha encourages the citizens to make a wish about changing Rosa's future. Their strength of their collective desire eventually overpowers Magnifico, trapping him in the... Spoiler right there.
Yeah. A little bit.
How do you think they make their collective wish?
Spoilers for Disney's 1937 Snow White.
You didn't have to go that fucking hard. The citizens of Rosas break out into song, and they sing at Magnifico to stop. That's not an overstatement. That is the truth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, they reprise one of the songs
Beautiful.
mentioned earlier in the movie. It's the fucking song that... Is this? No, yeah,
I
it's
had it
Asha's
pulled
I
up.
Want song, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they all sing at Chris Pine to death. And he gets stuck
Beautiful.
inside his little mirror staff that he just built. and he's stuck in a mirror. And for a single fucking frame of the movie, and if you don't know what you're looking for, you won't find
Yeah.
it. He has the magic mirror face from
Yeah.
Snow White.
Yeah.
And then the queen's like, put him in the dark dungeon and hang him on a wall. I'm drinking my coffee black today.
Oh, it's so dumb.
And Chris Pine's like, no, I don't want to be in a marketable sequel. Queen takes over, and automatically they're off to a better start. Everybody gets their wishes back, and they're all making steps towards their wishes. There's one lady who wants to learn how to fly, so she introduces that lady to her friend in green tights, Peter, with a little red thing in his cap. Yes, that is Peter Pan. Thank you for noticing. Simon is forgiven by his friends because he's like, oh, I didn't realize police unions were bad. Black lives do matter, everybody.
Yeah.
Asha is then gifted a legitimate magic wand so she can continue inspiring people as the star goes back into the fucking heavens. And everybody's like, hey, Asha, since you can now use magic, will you be our... Can I get a drum roll, please? Can't hear the drum roll for shit.
Oh,
Fuck it.
Sorry.
Will you be our fairy godmother?
Nice.
And when you look at it, she looks just like the fairy godmother, minus one very specific detail.
And what would that be?
Her fucking skin color.
What, is she not white enough?
Asha is very much not the kind of pasty fuck like the fairy godmother is.
It's Mediterranean.
So
the fairy godmother is doing whiteface.
do you think that's the case?
I mean, that's kind of what's implied, isn't it?
I don't hate that idea.
Look, either the fairy godmother's doing whiteface or Asha's doing blackface, and one of these is much worse than the other.
Oh, bippity boppity boo hoo. Yeah. Asha is then said to become the fairy godmother. And then the goat says, I'm going to build Zootopia. And then the movie fucks off.
So I have to know, what did the goat, like, what was the words? Because I've heard that.
I envision a paradise where all mammals are equal and we get to wear clothes.
Jesus. Okay.
I know. It makes you want to fucking kill yourself.
Kind of. It really undercuts, like, the point of a lot of those movies.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, what point is it that Magnifico is the magic mirror? Isn't it cool that the magic mirror is just some weird artifact and not just Chris Pine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm not against a fairy godmother origin story. I think it's actually kind of a cool idea. In fact, my whole Sorcerer's Apprentice idea with Asha being able to use magic in general and not needing like the magic star to grant wishes, you know, it's kind of leading up to this idea that if she wants to grant wishes so bad and become the fairy godmother, at least set it up fucking earlier so it's not out of fucking left field. My girlfriend did not know about the fairy godmother twist in this movie.
Okay.
So I was sitting in the theater, and the moment I saw the wand come up, I looked at her, and there was this face of horror on her face. Absolute fucking dread. And then when Chris Pine got in the mirror, she groaned.
Oh, you know, credit to it, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad that she's not just, like, blindly taking it, because it's very dumb.
It's so dumb.
The limited exposure I've had to Disney fans, they've been very pro Disney to a fault. So, sorry, dumb. Fun fact, the Wish Wikipedia page has been put in a semi-protected state due to vandalism.
I wonder fucking why.
Uh,
Also, it's also hinted at that the star becomes the star from Pinocchio.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like of all of the things, that's probably the least offensive.
No, it makes. I would love it if, like, the only thing uniting all these fucking movies was
Yeah.
just an obscure,
Yeah.
abstract concept as a fucking star.
A literal magic star.
Yeah.
That
Like,
would be fine.
that would be perfectly fine. The fact that I know the fairy godmother's fucking first name now,
Yeah.
unacceptable.
I'm the fairy godmother. You can call me Asha. Okay. I have so first of all, before I start to like really dig into this, because holy shit. I
Yeah.
want to know music on the whole. Is
Shit.
it fine or is it okay? But like shit or just below average Disney?
So when you
Because there's
think of
obviously a couple of them that are like noticeably bad, and I'm not fond of the style that they've presented for it, but I'm open to being having my opinion changed if
that's
it's
how
just
I
like
went into it.
mediocre.
Wish. Okay, no, I'm going to start this off. When you
Okay.
think of Disney music,
Yes.
what comes to your mind?
Uh, Particularly Snow White and the Seven Fucking Dwarves and Beauty and the Beast.
Really?
Yes. Those are like to me the ends of the spectrum between Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, where it's like very textbook, this is a children's musical,
Yep.
and then Beauty and the Beast, more tongue in cheek, taking itself less seriousness. Where I can see how current movies pull from the two things that those set up in terms of the balance of seriousness and whimsy.
Oh boy. So the reason I wanted to go see Wish was because I'm morbidly curious about the music of this movie.
Yeah,
Because I will fully admit, I'm not a Disney guy.
right.
I'm more Warner Brothers, Looney Tunes.
Yeah,
But the one thing I will always give Disney is they make bops.
they have
Yeah.
from literal day one.
Speaking of Disney and music, I do have one fun fact to share with you.
Mm-hmm.
My Chemical Romance's The Black Parade and Hannah Montana's debut album came out on the same day.
Weird.
Barbenheimer.
That's kind of fascinating.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Wow.
So, this movie, which is supposed to be 100 years celebration of Disney.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, one cute thing in this movie that kind of got annoying towards the end.
Mm.
Lots of hidden Mickeys in the movie.
Ah.
Like the wish orbs will sometimes, like when they're floating, just happen to make a Mickey Mouse shape.
Well, what a coincidence.
I fucking know. When I think of Disney music, I think of like an elevated animated form of Broadway music almost.
Yes, definitely. Very reminiscent.
This is not Broadway music.
Okay. I kind of figured.
Yeah, when you listen to This Is the Thanks I Get, that's more Ed Sheeran than anything.
Yes.
That's Ed Sheeran's fucking Disney song. This feels like it is a top. Let's pull up Billboard real quick.
All right.
I assure you, this is not going to matter at all.
What do you know, Taylor Swift?
Yeah. Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift, Lovin' on Me, Paint That Town Red. Yeah, all these songs that you're looking at right now, these top 40 songs on the charts, that's what Wish sounds like. In fact, one thing that pissed me off a little bit, they have a song called I'm a Star, which is sung by all the little woodland animals that like transform into like speaking animals, Disney-fied. And the whole time, all I could think of is I'm a Star by Prince.
Mm.
Because that's a much better song. And it's also, I'm sorry, it's Baby I'm a Star. More in line with the movie. Hey, look at me. Tell me, do you like what you see? Hey, I got no money, but honey, I'm rich on personality. Hey, check it out, baby. I know that's what it's about. Before the night is through, you'll see my point of view, even if I have to scream and shout. Oh, baby, I'm a star.
Yeah.
That's Prince. Have you
Yeah.
ever wondered why you look up at the sky for answers? Oh, why flowers in the wind are effortless in eloquent dancers? What forms the rings in the trees turn pines from a seed? What forms the rings in the tree turns a pine from the seed? What's passed down generationally to you? Why are our eyes all like microscopic galaxies? Have you ever wondered why you look up at the sky for answers? Which one of those flows better?
Yeah. Yeah,
What?
it's not really even close.
Yeah. Like, I'm a star is trying so hard to be this philosophical, like, we're all stardust type thing. And it's
Mhm.
not fun. It's not that fun. Oh, baby, I'm a star. You might not know it now. Baby, I am a star.
Like you could actually tell me that that was secretly like a Lady Gaga song from 2014. I believe you.
Really.
'Cause that's what it sounds like. Oh yeah.
That last chorus was Prince.
And
Just because I'm a Prince
I
fan.
mean not necessarily even like Lady Gaga, but just like pop music from 10 years ago.
Well, pop music's pretty stagnated, if you ask me. But that's beside
It
the point.
has, but it's gotten a bit more mature, I guess would be the polite way of saying it.
Pop music discovered what fucking depression is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, mature as in like mature themes.
Oh, yeah.
Like as it sort of hits the sort of crossover with hip hop as it has been.
Thank you, Lord, by the way, for introducing more mature themes to pop music.
Hmm.
She died for our
Um,
sins.
yeah. So, second question that I have
Yo,
is the animation. Is it the same as was shown in the like music trailers they put out beforehand?
yes, and for the first 10 minutes, it's incredibly jarring.
Yeah. Do you just get used to it?
You get used to it, and I will admit,
Okay.
most of this movie takes place at night, which is kind of nice.
Okay.
It looks
Yeah,
better at night.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I won't criticize it too harshly then. I think a lot of it comes down to the my first exposure to this being the musical trailer for This Is the Thanks I Get, which sounds like it's kind of the worst of all of those components.
I'm not going to lie, it feels like they were rushed on this.
Hmm. I
Everything
believe it.
feels like a first draft, even the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I have any production notes on here?
Um, on the Wikipedia page, there is.
Apparently started development in 2018. Yeah. Not particularly recent or anything then. Very unfortunate. Um,
We're all poor, unfortunate souls.
I think this makes for a fascinating point of comparison. Like I've said it before, Walt Disney's Snow White and Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah.
For, obviously Snow White and Seven Dwarfs being a product of its time, being disgustingly successful in kickstarting all of this. But I do find it hilarious that without adjusting for inflation, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs made like 10 times what Wish has.
Are you serious?
Yeah, without adjusting for inflation, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs just box office is rated at $418 million.
That is not fucking fair.
It's an absurd number that when you factor in inflation is basically unbeatable.
I mean,
Um,
full disclosure, Seven Dwarves, I'm sorry, Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, there's really no movie like it. Even
no.
like we have like all these Disney movies that are derivative of it,
Yep.
but there's still nothing like that movie.
Yep. And Disney's been trying to capture lightning in a bottle for that lightning in a bottle for the last 84 years.
Yeah, like the Disney Renaissance movies are good. They're very good.
Yes.
Like the part of the reason why I wanted to be an animator as a kid and I draw
Hmm.
is because I watch fucking Disney movies. So
Yeah.
like I
Oh yeah,
begrudgingly have to respect these
they're
fucking movies.
they're industry defining.
Yeah. Like I think I was reading Miyazaki's essays, like Hayao
Hmm.
Miyazaki's essays, and he talks a lot about fucking Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah,
Which again, because it was groundbreaking. Isn't
yeah.
it like the first animated feature film of all time?
No, not quite to that point, but it did a lot of things correctly, and it kind of wrote the formula that everything has followed since.
Well, like, so may I nerd out a little bit about animation?
Yeah, please.
So this movie came out in 1937.
Hmm.
1937 was a very good time for animation. Like,
Yes.
I would argue animation's only gone up in quality over the years, but like back then it was more of a craft.
Hmm.
You had Fleischer, you had Popeye, you had like all these amazing. Like, let me just make sure I'm not eating on my ass right now. Flight. I need to see if Fleischer was still around back then.
Here's another fun fact for you. Adjusted for inflation, original merchandise sales from Snow White's release has also doubled Wish's box office.
Damn. Okay, correct. I was right. Okay,
Yeah.
Fleischer Studios was founded around 1929, so that's quite a lot.
Hmm.
So this was all concentrated. Animation was mainly concentrated to opening a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had like all this high effort for like a little taste, little crumbs of stuff. To be able to put that much effort into what was 83 minutes, which is like absolutely fucking bonkers
Hmm.
in terms of like length.
Yeah, I am wondering if that's probably like first feature length animated film. I wonder if that is a part that it clears because I don't know.
Let me check. I just typed in first.
Because
Is the first feature length cell
yeah,
animated feature film.
okay, I'd buy that.
Yeah. I wonder where those cells are nowadays. But like
I in some rich person's vault, I imagine.
the Disney vaults.
Because that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
This made so much money so quickly. They know those are worth something. They didn't throw them away randomly one day, unless it like burned down or something,
Yeah.
because that happens. But yeah, I think comparing Wish to Snow White, there are some fascinating comparisons that you can take away. Stripping away the animation, the music, the just looking at like the writing structure and where the focus of the movie is. And I think that there is an argument to be made with Wish being somewhat emblematic of the recent, what I'm going to call pro villain trend, where villains are given too fucking much screen time for no reason other than they know people will like the villain and they want to cater to those people.
Well, like Ursula was a good villain. Like, so you have
Yeah,
like charismatic villains.
for sure.
Yeah. One thing this movie became very obvious to me was with is the adorable princess like
Hmm.
thing they've been doing like the last umpteen movies.
Hmm.
Because like Asha, as cool of a design she is, I can't tell her personality apart from like Rapunzel or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And like design, personality and design wise, they're both pretty like there's only so much you can do with a teenage girl in a dress like thing
Oh yeah.
where
Teenage
it all just kind of
Barbie doll figure.
yeah, it just kind of smears together. Well, I mean, maybe to a degree, but it's not quite that bad, I don't think.
I don't know.
To a degree for sure.
I always feel like there's this pressure to make them doll like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that I think is kind of fascinating for Wish, more so than any other Disney movie I've seen in a while, is that they always seem to have a very good sense of place where you can see both the location and the people in that location and it meshes.
Oh
And I
yeah.
don't get that from this movie. And it's a very weird misstep to see, where it's like you have these locations that are like very obviously based on real places in the Mediterranean, and then the characters are just dressed completely differently from what I would expect a person from the time period that they are trying to present to be dressed.
I feel that to a degree. Like the thing with me is Asha's hair.
Yeah.
Asha's got really cool dreads.
Yeah.
However, I don't think those would have been around in fairy tale times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of effects on the clothing that are meant to be like sort of like starlight-y sort of patterns.
Hmm.
And it's like, it's neat, but I wouldn't expect to see that in what I would place as like 1700s Mediterranean.
Yeah.
It feels out of place.
I'm kind of curious what the culture was like back then.
Yeah. And maybe I'm just wrong and I've not been exposed to it enough, but it doesn't, the vibe does not match for me.
Does not pass the vibe check.
It does not pass the vibe check. And
My
that feels
pro-
like the first bar.
One of the biggest problems I have with this movie, design wise,
Yeah.
um, Asha is perfect. Magnifico has one flaw with his design that bothers me the fuck.
Hmm.
He's too pretty.
He looks too much like Chris Pine.
You think I don't even know what Chris Pine looks like.
Oh, you look, he's a beautiful man.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Particularly the jawline and the cheeks.
yeah. When I look at Magnifico, I see a Ken doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like if they. He's like that perfect age of like mature salt and pepper,
Hmm.
but
Yep.
like youthful enough.
Yeah.
And I wanted an older Magnifico.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's too sexy.
yeah. I don't want to fuck Magnifico, but when I look into his fucking starlit eyes
See,
and his
that's
like,
kind of that's kind of my thought with how they've treated the villain here, right?
yeah,
Is that regardless of what they do, there are going to be people who do want to fuck the villain. But usually it doesn't feel like Disney started out with that in mind, like it does here. Disney wants you to feel that way about Magnifico, and that feels tonally wrong
he's my
and
wish
narratively
daddy.
complicates it. Yeah. Oh, that's horrible.
That is the worst thing I fucking said this whole show.
Yeah.
I cannot forgive myself for that. 1,000 Hail Marys tonight.
I'm also just skimming through the screenshots from this and just thinking about it. There's also the very weird sort of like Genesis level biblical element of the animals gaining some semblance of sentience and immediately being like, "Oh fuck, I'm naked," and wanting clothes.
That's a good point, actually.
It's like very biblical.
Have you seen like the original concept art where this was going to be a 2D movie?
No, that'd be interesting though.
So here's the picture from the art book, which gives an
Yeah.
idea.
Hmm. Interesting. And of course it's concept art, so you can only take it so far,
Yeah,
but I like it.
I like it too. Another
Let's
idea was going to
see.
be to have the star be in 2D animation and the rest of the world in 3D animation.
That would have been neat.
Yeah. Problem with that is 2D animators, they're unionized, whereas 3D animators are not.
Yeah, okay. I'll say, only having obviously this one still to go by, this one-to-one wouldn't have worked, of course.
Yeah.
But I definitely prefer the idea of 2D animation with the stylistic choices they had, particularly with the backgrounds.
Uh,
It fits.
yes. I love the color palette of this movie.
Yeah.
Really simple color palette. Blue, purple,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of yellow, and a very ethereal green for Magnifico's
Yeah.
Mountain Dew powers.
His Mountain Dew powers. Yeah, it's a very nice deep blue as well.
Yeah. These are excellent hues,
Mm.
excellent colors.
Yeah.
It's just wasted on this movie.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I feel that This movie could have used a lot more work,
Hmm.
and I wish it got more because like there's something here. It's just not fully realized.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm gonna have to give this our lowest rating of a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
My
Yeah,
girl,
nothing has ever been lower than a 7.
nothing. It would be unwatchable trash if it was a 6 out of 10. Don't even get me started on what a 0 looks like. It just doesn't exist.
I'll say, as a bit of a commentary on the state of entertainment as a whole, it's kind of surprising how devoid everything, like starting with like what, November really, and going on, both in gaming and in now film. There's been this just kind of like gap where we had banger after banger for the first 10 fucking months. And then it just drops off with the worst Call of Duty ever released, Napoleon and Wish. And it's just like a precipitous cliff.
To be fair, there's been a lot of good shit this year. This is
There
like
has,
one of the greatest years, in my
for
opinion.
sure.
Eventually, it would have to stop.
I guess so.
Yeah,
I guess so. It's just weird that it did it at the holidays.
probably the
I would
worst
not
time.
have guessed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So something that I had come up in my one of my social media feeds this week that I had to pull back up again because I think it's, fascinating, because you mentioned uh it's like a shitty parody of Disney movies that The Simpsons made up of but played straight. Reminded me, and this came up again, of the quote from oh god, I don't know his full name. JoJo writer Araki.
Oh, Hirohiko Araki?
Hirohiko, thank you.
Yeah.
From his 2013 Rules of Movies, where he talks about Shrek
Oh,
as
yeah.
like a masterpiece. And I thought it was really funny that that was coming back up and making the rounds again on social media at the same time that Wish is coming out.
Hirohiko Araki's super favorites, the rules of movies. I've got it pulled up right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shrek challenging the rules of fairy tales. Nowadays, it seems like the number of people who think animation is for kids has decreased. However, there are still plenty of adults who will watch anime filled with sci-fi worldviews but avoid Disney-like American CG animations because they're intended for children. I would like such people to watch Shrek 2001. It has been perfected to a level of excellence, and I consider it the greatest masterpiece in animation history. I believe it is a work which was meant to be born into the modern age and breathes new life into the concept of fairy tales.
The funny thing is, like, I respect Araki a lot.
Yeah.
Like, Araki is a very good fucking writer. Would never expect him to take such a shining to Shrek.
Hmm. He put it at number 8 on his list of 20 best suspense films,
That's.
between Fargo and Heaven Can Wait.
Can we just go over this list real quick? 'Cause
It's a banger.
it's a banging list.
I don't have the full one. The one that I have only goes through 16. Let me.
Okay, I've got up to
You
21
have it?
because he puts a runner up in there.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll go ahead. You got.
yeah. Number 21, the runner up is Reservoir Dogs by
Yeah,
Tarantino.
that's fair.
Yeah. Number 20 is fucking Witness, the
Hmm.
1985 film.
Hmm.
Up next is Bound, which is I'm kind of opening these up as well because I haven't seen all these.
1996, I
Yes,
assume.
neo noir crime
By
thriller.
the Wachowskis. Okay.
Yeah.
Pre-Matrix Wachowskis. Interesting.
Then we have Frost and Nixon.
Oh yeah. Just Frost Nixon.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Great film. I'm surprised it's on his list, but yeah, also just fantastic.
This is a Japanese motherfucker too.
Yeah. I would not have guessed that.
Okay. After that, we have Unfaithful,
Unfaithful. I don't know that.
2002, an erotic thriller film.
Another one of those. Yes, he's got a taste.
I mean, okay, so
Richard Gere, Diane Lane. Okay. Okay.
being a mangaka is like apparently
Hmm.
very isolating work where you don't leave the house often.
Yeah,
I'm sure this man gets a little bit lonely.
for sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Then Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World.
Banger.
Is it?
Criminal they didn't make. Oh, absolute Master and Commander. I have to think if it like it is a genuine question if it makes the list for like top 10 movies of all time for me.
Wow.
It is so good. There's a really great article about 2 years ago put out talking about it and praising it as being one of like the best dad movies to watch. Like not like movies about dads, but like movies for
For dads.
dads.
Yeah.
Because it's set in like 1700s Atlantic Ocean following a British naval ship. And
Interesting.
it is God, I should know his name, but it's an adaptation of a book, of a series of books that was about naval warfare.
Mm.
And it is phenomenal. Highly recommend it.
The fact that there's an Ashton Kutcher movie on Hirohiko Araki's list. This man's work is featured in the fucking Louvre.
Yeah.
The Butterfly Effect coming
Yeah.
in next.
But it's a good list.
This man watches a
It
lot of fucking
pulls no
movies.
punches. It has no fucks given as to what you think a suspense film should or shouldn't be.
What do you think is the suspense part in Shrek, though?
I think it is probably related to like balancing the viewer's expectations for what a fairy tale movie should be mixed with the reality of what Shrek presents
You're
and the
fucking
sort of
right.
ticking clock kind of stuff that it goes along with it.
So
It's perching itself like right on the edge of expectation.
up next, from one of my favorite directors of all time, Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, this man needs to go outside. After that is fucking Duel.
1971, I
Yeah.
assume.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then we have City of God. Have you ever seen this movie?
I have not.
So,
City 2002?
yes.
No, I'm not familiar with it.
All I know is my parents have a DVD copy of it.
Interesting.
The
Poverty stricken favelas of Rio de Janeiro in the 70s, two young men choose different paths. Budding photographer who documents the increasing drug related violence in the neighborhood, and an ambitious drug dealer who uses rocket in his photos as a way to increase his fame as a turf war erupts with his rival. Not on location in Rio's poorest neighborhoods.
Beautiful. So here we are in the top 10. Buckle
No, you
up.
got one more. You got one more.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Number 11.
The Bourne Identity.
Another banger. And kind of underrated in modern context, I think, because people take it a bit for granted. But if you haven't seen The Bourne Identity recently, it's worth a rewatch because it is so good. It's so like we get so many cheap action movies now. It's worth going back and seeing what The Bourne Identity did for cinematography and writing the book for what a modern action movie should look like because it really redefined it in a good way.
I do feel like The Bourne Identity has influenced pretty much every action movie after it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Up next,
sure.
top 10.
Top
For real
10.
this time.
For real.
Dirty fucking Harry.
Yeah.
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 Yep. That belongs
Nope.
in there.
No one's going to question that.
Yep. Followed by Fargo.
Yep.
Yep.
Another classic.
Then we have The Man of the Hour, Shrek.
I love it because it's like in a row, three top tier American classics.
This man watches a lot of American movies now that I think about it.
He does.
Followed by Heaven Can Wait.
Yeah.
I know nothing about this movie, but
Heaven
sports
Can Wait.
fantasy.
I've heard about it for sure. 1943, Dom Amici, Gene Tierney. Yeah. Old black and white film. Heard about it plenty. Don't believe I've seen it either.
Then we have Psycho,
Mm-hmm.
the suspense movie of all time.
Yeah.
Unforgiven. Followed by Mystic River.
Mystic River is another kind of like sleeper, really good one.
Has Sean
Won a
Penn
ton
in
of
it.
awards, but it's dark. Surprisingly dark.
Is it that dark?
Yeah.
Damn.
Like from like a like psychological perspective, not like in terms of the visuals, but it's just like coming to terms of what's happening. Very good movie.
Then we have Taken, which I'm a little
hmm
shocked about that one being
I'm
on
su-
here.
I'm surprised it's that high. Like
Yeah.
it's very good, but I wouldn't have put it top 10.
Taken is that movie that's inspired every fucking dad in the country to be afraid of foreigners.
True.
It's like that's its MO. Then we have The Great Escape.
Yeah. Which is 1963 Steve McQueen. Yep.
Yep, that belongs on there. I haven't
Definitely
even seen
does.
it, but I know The Great Escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would say I would it's worth seeing at some point. It's definitely aged a bit just because it's 60 years old now, but it's still very good.
And then Heat at number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Can we also? I want to highlight the chapters in this book that he wrote, the rules of movies.
hmm
Chapter 1, Best of the Best, Heat and Taken. Never will expect a book to come out starting like that.
Yeah.
Chapter 2, A masterpiece is to make a grown man cry.
Hmm.
Chapter 3, Masters of Suspense. 4 is Love Affair, Erotic Suspense. 5,
Okay, so I guess that makes sense. He's, breaking it down into subcategories and then factoring that in for his list. Okay.
yeah. 5, Eastwood is a genre, which I
Very
respect
true.
that.
Yeah.
6, do not underestimate this film, which I feel like that's Shrek. That has to be Shrek.
Probably. Yeah.
7, a classic urban legend is necessary.
Hmm.
Fuck yeah. You go, Hirohiko Araki. You immortal
Mhm.
master, you.
Yeah.
They have a book called Learn English with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I don't think that would be my preferred way, but to each their own.
It had fucking musician Marty Friedman as like the supervisor for the English.
That's pretty good.
Fucking what? Huh. Apparently Marty Friedman's really big in Japan. I did not know that.
That's one of the things I saw some people talking about this, about the what's the I can't remember the slang for it, like America Boo or whatever. Like
Western Boo?
yeah, the America version of Weeaboo.
Yeah.
About how it is apparently much larger than people realize until you go over there.
Really?
Yeah. Where not from like the end of the angle of like uh dressing up and going to like cowboy conventions,
Yeah.
but at a much more subtle layer of American bar culture influencing onto Japan, and then Japan continuing that after American occupation, of course, and continuing with like Texas aesthetics.
I do not like the Texan aesthetics.
Most people don't.
Like I've always appreciated like the influence we had on Japanese jazz during World War II,
Yes.
but that is like as much as I am willing to accept. The
Yeah.
fact that cowboy culture is a thing appreciated in Japan bothers me.
I'll say though, it is funny.
It's hilarious, but it also feels like just delivering smallpox blankets.
True.
Yeehaw! Now I'm gonna go ride my horse off into the sunset, Kyrol. Will you be joining me?
No partner.
No partner? Ooh wee, the cousins at the barbecue are going to hear about this one. I want to apologize on behalf of all Americans for what I just did there.
On behalf of all of the United States, I am sorry.
I will do it again. Oh, fuck.
You know what they won't be doing again?
What?
A 3-year cruise because it has been canceled.
Oh, fuck me. Oh, I forgot about this story. Go on.
Yeah. So apparently, I hadn't heard this was a thing in the first place, but uh, organized by what is this? Ada Cruises. Sorry, no, Sea at Life Cruises was planning to purchase a retired cruise ship from the Carnival Cruise Lines to run a 3 year around the world cruise ship event for a price that, according to what's being described in here, was in the tens of thousands of dollars and included accommodation, food, and entertainment for that entire period. And I feel like that should be the first giveaway that something doesn't really make sense with their business model. And we know that for sure now, as the entire cruise event has been canceled, leaving dozens of people stranded at the intended departure location of Istanbul. Some of them without any plans to return back to what would have been their houses for the next 3 years, and being tens of thousands of dollars the poorer. Very much the Fire Festival of Cruises. Look
Oh,
forward to seeing the Internet Historian video on it in about 3 years' time.
that's when he's going to start working on it. When are we going to do?
Yeah. He actually apparently has a pretty packed December, so we'll see how that goes. He posted on his Patreon. He claims he's going to be putting out something like 2 main channel videos, or no, one more main channel video and something like 4 second channel videos. But we'll see if that actually happens.
I will believe it when I fucking
I'm
see it.
say I'm not holding my breath. But yeah, this seems like a pretty big clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Can you like I don't even want to go on a cruise ship for a week, let alone 3 years.
What would you do after like the third month?
I don't know. It just it doesn't make sense. I feel like I would be curious to see, right? Because they talk about this in, tens of thousands of dollars. I would be curious to know how much it like truly cost, or if it was like a fire festival thing, literally, where they put tickets out at prices that nobody could ever support, to see like what would the equivalent, just regular traveling equivalent be. Because I feel like for tens of thousands of dollars, you could do some pretty crazy traveling, like around the world type stuff, without having to sell all of your earthly possessions to afford a 3 year cruise trip.
I feel like it's got to be one of those things where they pressure you into thinking it's going to end soon. Because like without that scarcity, you
I don't know, maybe.
yeah,
I guess if you miss it, you gotta wait at least 3 years.
damn.
It's weird for sure. They made a cruise ship out of red flags.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
They said it could never be done.
Mm-hmm.
Red flags aren't buoyant enough.
And boy, did they prove that. That's hilarious. So let me see this. After 6 weeks of uncertainty, where the cruise ship company told guests that the sale of the ship they were using was taking longer than planned, on November 16th, another company, Celestial Cruises, announced that it had in fact bought the Ida ship that Life at Sea was trying to purchase. A day later, Life at Sea's former CEO Kendra Holmes, who had resigned days earlier and said she was not speaking on behalf of her parent company, recorded a 15-minute video for passengers admitting that the cruise would not be going ahead. It is unclear why Holmes was chosen to make the announcement, which was provided to CNN by a passenger. She has declined to comment to CNN. 48 hours after Holmes' video, passengers received a message from the owner of the cruise company declaring himself extremely sorry for the inconvenience, and confirmed that the cruise would not be departing as planned, as they could not afford the ship.
What the fuck? That's a
This is
really last
interesting.
fucking minute.
So they say that the ship cost $50 million, and they have 111 passengers. So right off the bat, that is $450,000 per passenger just to buy the ship. And they were apparently charging tens of thousands of dollars for this for tickets. So very much in the same tone as Fire Festival, where they set up a completely unrealistic goal without doing their due diligence ahead of time or even like the minimum amount of financials to see if this was a viable product. And I guess this also explains why here around the world cruises aren't something that's being offered. Generally, you don't want to spend 3 years away from your family or from your house or have to sell your house to afford your around the world 3 year cruise. And we are getting to see the fallout from that sort of lack of foresight once again. Cruise company has said that they will be offering refunds to the people impacted, but they will be doing it as part of monthly installments, given their financial claims beforehand, probably because they can't afford to do it otherwise. Um, with payments first being distributed to the people who are receiving refunds in December, finishing by February. However, given this was a 3 year cruise, a number of passengers have expressed concerns, given that they either sold or have since rented their homes to be able to afford this cruise trip in the first place, and they have nowhere to go in the meantime. So, generally, a pretty horrible situation for everyone involved. The current owner of the cruise ship said that the company had made a down payment for the ship, but that the investors had declined to support them further due to unrest in the Middle East, where they are based.
So was it out of Istanbul that they were like leaving specifically?
Yeah, that
Okay.
was the plan. That was supposed to be their port.
Okay. That is understandable then.
hmm Quote, we have tried everything to make your dreams come true, and we will continue to do so. Last piece I have is to quickly touch on the Daft Punk Drumless Edition
Woo!
for Random Access Memories.
Yeah, baby.
It's pretty neat.
It's pretty neat. Why do you say it that way? Are you not just going to consume without a critical eye, Mr. Chiral?
Eh. I do really like the more vocal forward tracks. Getting to hear the non drum parts, with a bit more clarity is really neat.
I really appreciate how it demystifies the vocals a little bit
Yeah.
because you can hear the layers upon layers of vocals on Pharrell's voice, especially in something
Yeah.
like Get Lucky,
Yeah.
a lot easier when you don't have like drums in the way.
I
Oh,
also highly rate Within. Just
yes.
getting to hear the crisp piano on its own is really damn good.
That's such a good piano. Honestly, I it makes me want to like change my order of like the songs on that album. Of, like what are my
hmm
favorites?
Definitely gives a new appreciation for some of them.
It's definitely not like for the average Joe, I feel as well, because
Yeah.
I don't think
Because then the other end of it is stuff like Doing It Right, where it's like
acapella.
literally the same like 10-second loop for 4 minutes. And not having the drums strips out basically all of it, other than the vocals.
I would also say Contact also suffers a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
there's a
like
couple of them for sure.
Contact is just a drum solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say Touch is probably my favorite though, without the drums. Just because,
Okay. But Fragments of Time,
yo,
the guitar in that without the drums is super clean.
the guitar in general on this whole album is just
It's yeah, it's
gorgeous.
fair.
apparently, from what I understand, is they took compressors, which, for
Mm.
those of you who do not know what a compressor is in music, imagine, if you will, there was a way to get the quiet parts of a song, and then make them as loud as the loudest parts by bringing them like closer together, like smushing them, compressing, if you will. What they did is
What do
they
you know?
took every single performance and then compressed the fucking hell out of it. So what you're getting a little bit of is even like the studio air, which is how it comes off as so clean. You're hearing like little brief little passages of air in there as well,
Yeah.
which is damn impressive.
Yeah. The other part for me is that with some of them, like within Fragments of Time and uh, Get Lucky, it feels like like you could look at it from the framing of these being the original songs that Daft Punk then went and remixed. Like
Yeah.
because their sampling process very heavily pulls from disco and dance music from the 70s and 80s
Yeah.
in exceptionally intricate ways. And a lot of that is what's been stripped away by removing those drum machines.
Th-
And it's very cool to be just sort of stripped back with this, guitar, vocals, and pianos from a time of music that is just not today anymore.
It's really sad. Like the whole point of random access memories is that memories part of it, where it
Yeah,
is those them bringing new samples in and then using that
yeah,
as like the music. But
yeah, yeah. It is very cool though. It is an more of an art piece than an album at this point, but it's still very cool.
I would describe Drumless more as a statement.
Yeah,
Again, like you said, definitely not an album anymore.
yeah,
I turn that on when I really want to fucking listen.
yeah. I would be really curious. Maybe I can. I don't know. I'll figure this out later. There's probably some neat stuff you can do uh, as like a hybrid of this. Now that we have the original cuts and the drumless cuts to sort of like hybridize them and
I've
just make little tweaks.
I've heard people taking the drumless editions and they drum along with it to like practice the drum.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, I respect that a lot.
It's
Please
like
make
a karaoke version.
please make a guitarless version.
That is very cool. A very cool idea.
I want them to do an instrumental version as well, with just like cutting out the vocals.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Look, Daft Punk, just release all of your original files. Just
Just
put them in a big
give us
zip
a
folder
stem.
and dump them on Twitter.
I think they legally can't do that because of Columbia.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I could see something like that happening. But they are based enough that I wouldn't be put it past them to keep doing stuff like this to get to that point.
You see, what we're actually doing is we're just letting people hear them in new
Yeah.
context.
5 years later, we're gonna get the Random Access Memory 10th Anniversary Edition, 5th Anniversary Edition, Drumless Edition behind the scenes, and it's just gonna be all of the rest of the stems and the cuts.
No, we're going to get the settings edition, where it's just Daft Punk saying what the settings for their gear are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get lucky, cut 1. Drums got reverb set to 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to hearing this on vinyl, though. Um, it'll be, I think, pretty special.
You think so? Are you going to get a
Yeah,
vinyl copy?
I'm planning to at some point.
I got a vinyl copy of the 10-year anniversary edition just because
Yeah,
I really
me
like
too.
those outtakes.
Yeah, it's just cool. It's like a piece of music history.
It really is. There will never be another Daft Punk.
No, there won't.
Nope. And that's okay
Hmm.
because they pretty much, these, and we talked about this before the show, these are them just pretty much giving their legacy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
robots did their job. They can go home now.
Yep. They can go get disassembled and turned into proper iPods.
I will say, where is it? The announcement video that they were ending their
Career.
I don't know what you call it, career, I guess, yeah,
Yeah, the band.
is still exceptional. Just as like an art piece.
Do you think they actually like did that in costume, or they got someone else?
I would be surprised if they didn't do it themselves.
Yeah, they are
Just
extra
seems like the
enough.
kind of thing that they would do.
I'm going to rewatch that now.
Yeah. It's a great short film.
Where were you when Daft Punk broke up?
Yeah.
Did you actually hear that one of the dudes from Daft Punk did a classical musical album?
No.
Yeah. I think it was Guy who did it. Let me just check.
Interesting.
Nope, it was Tomas. I will say, listening to that, you can tell who does what in Daft Punk.
It makes sense. You know, they both have to bring their own perspective to it.
Yeah.
If you just have two people that are basically the same, what's the point of having a duo? I've seen that more recently with the Glitch Mob. Now went from three people down to two. They have a very clear difference to their presentation and their style. And it's like you can really tell what the third guy brought to his part of it.
It's like the Beatles almost.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Any strong collaborative effort, really.
I will
As long as
say,
it's not just a single person doing the lead.
yeah, it scares me a little bit when I find a band like and you don't know who's contributing. Like, I'm sorry. It's a sign of a good band, I should say, when you can tell like
Yes,
who contributes what to the sound.
I'd agree.
And I'm also rewatching Epilogue right now. The robots are staring at each other. They look sad. Have you seen like the merch for Daft Punk go up in price lately?
No, but I believe it.
Let me get the prices for you because this is fucking wild. Okay.
I'll give them credit though. They have been doing, or whoever they work with to produce their vinyls,
Yeah,
has done an exceptional job keeping things in stock.
that is true.
Like to be able to let me see. I'm curious. The last time I checked, you could just go on Amazon and buy like some of their original vinyls new for less than like $40. I'm curious if that's still the case.
Okay. Classic Daft Punk logo black t shirt. You ready
Okay.
for this, Mr. Chiral?
Yeah.
Okay, put it in there in the
Yeah.
chat.
Very classic.
What is your bid?
Official merch.
This is official merch off the website.
Yeah. Off of their website.
Yes.
I would $30.
Actual retail price $40.
Jeez.
Okay. Now we have the classic Daft Punk logo on a black sweatshirt. I not black, gray crew
Oh
neck
God.
sweatshirt.
It's a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
So it's got to be like $80 at that point.
Actual retail price $100.
What?
Yes.
Actually, $100. It doesn't even
$100.
have the logo on the front. It's just the back.
There's the link. You can go look at it right now and cry like the rest of us.
Oh my God.
Okay. Here's a fun
And
one.
they literally the logo's on the back.
Baby onesie with
Uh,
Daft Punk logo on it.
what does it cost your firstborn child?
Yes, and that's what they take him away in.
Jeez, I have no idea.
The robots actually show up and just grab him and take him away from you. Actual retail price $30
Jeez.
for a
That
fucking onesie that's gonna get thrown up on.
just like material for material's sake, that is such a scam.
Isn't it fucked up? I don't know who's running the shop, but that's crazy. Okay, here's a more fun
Jeez.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. Random Access Memories, Drumless Edition and 10th Anniversary Edition bundled as vinyl
Okay.
with a slip mat for your
Wow.
yeah. with a
Okay.
slip mat and poster and schematics of the robots.
Yeah.
What do you think the price is?
120.
Not off too far. 123.98 cents.
That's a lot, but that's not super unreasonable. Because if you were to just buy both of those separately, that's already $80
Yeah.
compared to a shitty sweatshirt. But yeah, I was curious. On Amazon right now, you can buy Discovery on vinyl from the actual shop for $25.
That's not bad for vinyl prices.
That's not at all unfair.
Yeah. That is pretty much them breaking even.
Yeah, that's just what not even high quality vinyl, normal quality vinyl costs today.
Yes. The CD you can get for 11.50.
Hmm. Oh, geez. They have an Alive 1997 plus 2007 bundle. Holy shit.
How much?
So it is not official, or I mean, it is official, but it's relisted.
Okay.
This was. Let me see if I can find any more details on it. If it was released in 2014. It
Oh,
has 4 vinyl. Do you want to take a guess what it costs? It also comes with uh, a hardcover book for Alive 2007, the Alive 2007 double LP, the bonus LP, the Alive 1997 original LP, and a Alive 2007 VIP pass.
and this
Whatever
is
the hell that
vinyl?
means. This is vinyl. Yeah, four LPs total, and the fancy collector's book.
I'm
Oh,
go.
the Alive 2007 thing is like a mock concert lanyard.
Okay.
Yeah,
So reproduction
yeah,
and some LP.
big box set with digital download.
Bob, I'm going to have to go with $128.
It is 1,249.95.
Bob, I'm going to have to politely ask you to fuck off.
Yup. Yeah, especially when you can just get both vinyls for less than $100.
So I do have another one from the Daft Punk store for you.
Okay.
Daft Punk Random Access Memories Drumless Edition 2 LP vinyl. This is
Okay.
just the album itself, and it's cohesive
Okay.
package.
Okay.
How much off the Daft Punk store?
I would hope it's not more than $40.
$37.98.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's the same as it is on Amazon, I think. That makes sense.
Okay. Now we're going to
Oh,
up the ante a little
so
bit.
those schematics then are not like special to that edition. Those are just liner notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's even worse.
Well, yeah, the reason I bought the 10th anniversary edition is because the
Yeah.
fucking Lose Yourself to Dance poster is also on the 10th anniversary one.
Right. So they're just packaging two together and charging you 3 times as much.
Yes. Okay, so we
Okay.
have the bundle edition for Drumless Edition.
Sure.
It is the LP,
Yep.
two vinyls
Yep.
on 12-inch with a slip mat added.
Okay.
That's the only difference, is really just adding the slip mat.
It's kind of fascinating, right? So like in my mind, I'm thinking, right? Like you have a vinyl record
Yep.
machine
Yep.
player and you're buying music to play on it. Why is it not high enough quality that your vinyl's not slipping already?
I don't.
What's happening here?
A vinyl slip mat to me has always just been a band shirt that your vinyl player can wear.
I guess, but just like buy a record player with a cover and leave the actual vinyl out so you can just play it when you want.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's weird. I
that's
guess it is very much like the band shirt though. You're right.
stop dodging the question. What is the price for just adding the slip mat on there?
Well, it's a round piece of rubber, so I'm gonna guess 1,200. No, it's like $50. I hope.
$52.98.
52. Jeez, that is too. That is like $10 too much.
Okay, so here is the same thing for the 10th anniversary. Just the 10th
Right.
anniversary edition, 3 LP
Yeah.
with the poster and the schematics.
Yeah.
What
I
is
believe it's like 42.
49.98?
40. Okay, so that's actually a bit marked up.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I got mine for 36 bucks. So I
Yeah,
got a
mine
good
was
deal.
about the same.
Yeah. I think we just got it on sale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it was like a pre-order thing or something.
Yep. Here we go, Buckaroo.
Okay.
Same exact scenario with a slip mat.
Okay. It's already 50, so it's got to be like 65.
64.98. Ding ding ding
64.98.
ding
Jeez.
ding.
A piece of rubber does not cost $15.
Could you imagine the resale market on those
Wild.
fucking slip mats?
It can't be strong. Let me see. Daft Punk slip mat. Slip mat.
Oh, here's a fun one.
Yeah.
Just in time for the holidays. Daft Punk Discovery Helmets ornaments for your tree.
Hmm.
Pretty high quality, if I do say so myself.
Okay, that's cute.
Yeah, the cute little robot heads.
Yeah.
Got nice colors on them. Nice little metallic shines on the paint. Kyril, where do you start the bidding? Two
I
ornaments.
God, I know I'm gonna be wrong. Because ornaments are the kind of thing where it's like, okay, that's cool. I'd pay no more than $5 for that, but that would be fun to have. And then it's like 50,
Would you like the retail price?
please.
$50.
It is $50.
50 fucking dollars.
Oh my god.
50 freedom dollars for the French robots.
See, that's the kind of point where I have to ask myself if I want Daft Punk ornaments and it costs $50 to buy them legitimately, why would I not just buy a 3D printer and a can of spray paint?
No, 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 no. You're not supposed to do that. Gonna wiggle my finger at you.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a white whale to all this. I'm trying to find the price
Okay.
of right now. Because this one I know has existed for a while, but
Okay.
it's no longer around because, well, the 10th anniversary happened.
Right.
So, but when Daft Punk broke up, they basically stopped updating the website. So they had
Sure.
one product on there that was for sale for a while. Okay. This is Daft Punk Random Access Memories Deluxe Edition. A limited edition.
Okay.
It comes with the 2 vinyl LP of the album, and 800, I'm sorry, 180 grams, which is like the deluxe vinyl version.
Yep.
It comes with an additional vinyl single, 10-inch, 33, 1/3 rotations per minute. So
Yeah. Yeah.
they know what they're doing. Then it comes with a memory stick, Wave 24-bit 88.2 kilohertz
Oh.
audio files, the purest audio you can get.
Yeah. Full lossless. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe there's an art book in there and too, but I'm not seeing it in the listing I'm looking at right now. Care to make a guess what this is going to run you? This out of print deluxe edition
With WAVs.
with WAVs.
Jeez. No.
No.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Out
So
of print. So random access memories, the LP on vinyl, same as that, is still not more than like $40 normally. So you're
yes,
really just paying for those WAVs.
for the WAVs.
Given the kind of monsters that are audiophiles, I'm gonna guess $150.
Okay. Now, I am trying to find one thing. 'Cause I remember something very specific about this when I
Sure.
saw it. The memory sticks
Yeah.
aren't your standard memory sticks.
Okay.
They are fancy ass USBs inspired by Daft Punk themselves.
Ooh. Damn.
Yeah, do you see them? Triangles.
Yeah, I see them.
Yep.
That's shiny. Those look very impractical.
Very impractical, but audiophiles will still buy it.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
So, knowing that, are you going to
Knowing
keep.
that, am I gonna 200? I'm sure I'm low, but
So,
okay. Here's what I would say.
yeah.
I would say a fair price for that would be no more than $100.
So,
That would be a fair price, unless it's like a numbered limited edition kind of thing.
I don't remember if they are numbered or not.
I'm sure
However,
there. I'm sure it is limited, but
yeah,
I wouldn't think it'd be a numbered type of thing.
here we go.
Okay,
This
what
is
do
off
people want for it?
Discogs.
Yeah.
Discogs gives you 3 sets. One
Okay.
is for the lowest price it's ever been bought for. One is for the median price it's ever been bought for.
Yeah.
And then at the highest it's ever been bought for.
Okay, let's start with the low.
The lowest is $247.25.
Jesus. Yeah, I believe it.
That one was when it was new, by the way.
That was what they sold it for new.
Yes.
I believe that.
It's
I
only
could
gone
see.
up in value.
Yeah. I. You know, it's so dumb, right?
Yeah.
Because one person, and I bet somebody's probably done this, could just copy those to the internet, and anybody could download them losslessly.
Yep. Now,
What's
the
the median?
median $962.50.
Hilarious. Do they have any for sale right now on Discogs?
Yes.
Are they all sealed, I assume?
They are not sealed, actually.
Really?
Some,
So people are buying them, ripping the music, and then putting it back.
yes.
Like a sane person. And passing the buck on to whoever the next schmuck is.
So let me give you a couple listings here. There's a French seller right here, right?
Yeah.
Only available. The 2 LPs in near mint condition, gold and silver labels are on there. However, they do not have the memory stick, and they
Okay.
do not have one of the sleeves for the vinyl.
Okay.
That is going to be retailed at $351.65. Now,
Wild.
here is one that's sealed. The box has light wear on corners. The records inside are still sealed, and the box has everything at base. Mint condition, $649.
Damn.
Yeah. There's another from Turkey. New, no shrink, shelf wear and tear. Pictures available. You just got to email for a request. So obviously they're willing to put their money where their mouth is. And they're going to have protective shipping, so there's no additional damage done during shipping.
Yeah.
$758.
Yeah. I believe it.
Now here's the highest it's ever sold. Ready?
Okay.
2,500.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some masochistic motherfucker bought that.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Makes less than no sense.
now I do want to throw this out here, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 listings on here higher than that.
Okay.
There's one listing everything included in the original product from France,
Yeah.
and it just says mint condition, still sealed. $2,633.54. And then there's another one from Greece, $3,448.35.
Mm-hmm.
Where is God in all this?
It's kind of telling, I feel like, with how not that rare this is, that there are so many for sale.
Yes. I think they just overinflated it in the market, but people are trying to pretend like it's not that overinflated.
Yeah. Well, because they paid that much for it.
Yeah,
So of course it's worth that much.
of course. It's like NFTs.
There's some really. I'm just skimming around on the Daft Punk Discogs. There's some really cool stuff here.
Yeah.
Apparently, somebody listed at some point a 12-inch blank vinyl test print for random access memories that is in blue.
Ooh.
Was never. It had no audio on it. It was just for testing packaging. Obtained from a retired audio engineer at Columbia. who worked on the original lacquers in Germany and brought them back to LA. Definitely thought about having the colored vinyl for a limited edition box set, and that was made alongside the originals as a mock-up, and they ended up just sticking with black. It
This
was
is why I love
posted,
Discogs.
it never sold, and it was taken down.
I heard a rumor that there was a Gorillaz test product, which was basically like a proof of concept
Wow.
for an album,
Yeah.
for like a companion album for Plastic Beach
Yeah.
that was listed on Discogs. And apparently it was like only one of a kind, and it was from the marketing department. It had like no actual graphics on it. It was just a matter of
Hmm.
like, will this sell?
Yeah.
And it got released on Discogs, and no one knows who bought it. Discogs is a wild place, ladies and gentlemen.
Hmm. I do like that there are still corners of the internet like that that exist.
Yeah, this
It's nice.
I call it collector shit.
Yeah. And I hope as places like Amazon get like so as they continue to get, even more so big that they become useless and bloated with garbage, that we see a bit of a return to the like way the internet used to work, where everybody kind of had their own websites.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope we see that. And that's my hopeful thought. Sort of close the day on.
In that case, I'm Infamous Orion, and I've been a schmo.
And I'm Chiral, and I've been drumless.
And I wish I did not hear that.